Hey, what's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna react to my nigga Jimmy. He said he was the best shooter in the world, so they made him prove it. Okay, let's get into a reaction. Let's see who he talking about.
In fact, far from it. Most days, I'd say I probably fall somewhere between competent and incoherent. But despite my painfully average intelligence, I am still smart enough to know at least one thing is for certain. I am not better at basketball than an NBA player. Any of them. Literally nothing I can do with a basketball in my hands is up to par with a single player in the NBA. But this isn't breaking news. By now, we all know this. Except this guy. This is Anthony Miracola, and he claims to be the best shooter in the entire world. And it's a self-proclaimed title that he has earned by breaking several basketball shooting world records.
Okay.
Anthony's good, really good. But to find out the harrowing truth that he is not better than an NBA player, he got invited onto national television to have a shootout against an NBA player. The outcome of this shootout? Worse than you could imagine.
Oh, I might have to take a salt.
Do you think you are the greatest pure shooter of all time? Just straight shooting.
Yes.
Ever. Yes?
Yes.
Today's video is sponsored by DraftKings. The weather might be cooling down, but the action on the field is heat.
Okay, Devin Booker, the young cat from Phoenix.
In 2018, Devin Booker set a three-point contest
Devin Booker
record
was
with a
so
score of
goddamn
28 in the final round of the contest, taking home the trophy with his name forever etched into NBA history. A performance where he hit 80% of his shots, only missing 5 out of 25. Under this format, where the highest score possible is 34, Booker put on a three-point clinic that even shooters like Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson couldn't keep up with. And 4 years later, he still holds this incredible three-point shooting record. Until the greatest shooter alive, Anthony Miracola, broke it in 2022 with a score of 31. At last year's three-point open high-stakes contest in Pennsylvania, Anthony put on one of the most absurd displays of shooting you'll ever see, winning the contest and taking home a $100,000 cash prize.
Damn,
Look at this. The man doesn't miss. I mean, Anthony did have an extra 10 seconds compared to the NBA contestants, and he was shooting from the college three-point line, which is 2 feet closer, and he had 9 warm-up shots before beginning this record-breaking round. And, well, of course, this performance didn't take place in an NBA three-point contest. But a record is a record, and as the world's best shooter, Anthony's got a lot of them. Over the last decade, Anthony has been slowly taking down nearly every basketball shooting record available, and possibly some that are not. Most three-pointers made in a minute, 31. Most three-pointers made in 3 minutes, 93. Most free throws made in 1 minute, 67. That's more than a free throw made per second. I mean, at a rate like that, you must have some crazy contraption helping you get the balls back or something. Most free throws made in 3 minutes, 201, beating the old record by a very modest 101. And he doesn't plan on stopping until every shooting record is his. His most recent world record on the books, most free throws made while standing on one leg. But with all of this fame and glory as the world's greatest shooter comes a lot of challengers. People who doubt your claims, want to take your spot as the top dog, refute your records and say, well, I mean, how many people have even attempted shooting free throws on one leg? But that's neither here nor there. And this hasn't stopped Anthony from taking down the competition and taking down records along the way. Until he showed up. Former NBA player and now NBA analyst, Kenny Smith. See, back in the 90s, Kenny Smith was one of the NBA's premier sharpshooters. And as one of the best among the best, there is a massive void between him and some regular Joe when it comes to shooting a basketball. And throughout the years, Kenny has challenged other former NBA players to a three-point shootout to test their skills and win bragging rights on live national television. No warm-ups, no do-overs. He went toe-to-toe with, at the time, the greatest shooter of all time, Reggie Miller, and was one shot away from beating him. He challenged former NBA sharpshooter Danny Ainge to a three-point shootout and walked him like a dog while clearing the last rack and staring him down as the last ball went through the net. He challenged former flamethrower Michael Redd at the ripe age of 49 and beat him as well.
Damn.
Kenny even went as far as challenging Jason Terry, one of the greatest long-range shooters ever, to a three-point shootout for the rights to the nickname, the Jet. Does anyone want to take a wild guess at who won?
gotta come back over here.
Lie.
You gotta come back over here. You gotta come back over here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You gotta come back over here, shoot again. You gotta come back over here. I'm the judge in here. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name, Chuck? Another one, Hal. Chuck, what's my name? Kenny the Jet Smith. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's
Hey,
my
you can't
name?
lose the jumper.
This is not a man you want to mess with. Because no matter how many years go by, no matter how knocked those knees get, once an NBA player, always an NBA player. And Anthony Miracola had to learn this the hard way. It's been a few years since Anthony Miracola began his record-breaking mission. He's already a world record holder and the greatest shooter on the planet. So the crew over at NBA on TNT with Shaq, Charles, Ernie, and Kenny invite him onto the show to do a segment talking about his success. The crew is excited to have him on and hear his story. But lurking 5 feet to his left is Kenny Smith, who has identified his next victim. As a fun little gimmick, the crew has 10-year-old phenom Landon Spicer go toe-to-toe with Shaquille O'Neal in a free throw competition. The kid is a machine. He knocks down his shots. And to absolutely no one's surprise, Shaq does not. The kid is eating it up. He loves it.
Amazingly enough, you've beaten Shaq in a free throw contest.
That's funny, Chuck.
But the real show is about to begin. Ernie proposes a shootout between the greatest shooter in the world versus 54-year-old Kenny the Real Jet Smith. Kenny couldn't say yes fast enough. He just watched this man set a world record and sink 31 three-pointers in a minute, and he's chomping at the bit to face him. Right from the jump, Anthony is getting put through the ringer, and he hasn't even taken a single shot. They ask him where he'd like to shoot from. He says the free throw line. They say they're not doing that.
Where to stand? Don't matter. You pick the spot. He the guest.
This right here?
Get this
Don't
one,
matter.
big man.
Oh, we don't touch free throws.
we're not shooting free throws.
You
wanna shoot right here?
He's shooting threes.
Right here?
From out here. NBA threes.
Oh, it's hard to argue, though, man.
NBA three-point line it is. Anthony's already feeling the pressure. The studio's court has a low roof line. It's gonna mess up his shot. He makes a small remark about this, but the crew ain't going for it.
It's tough because of the art,
First
man.
one up.
saying.
Hey,
First one
let's
three.
stop making excuses. Yeah, we don't want to hear
all
I
that.
was shooting around, I almost hit the
It's all
ceiling a
you.
few
Wait,
times.
he's shooting the
First one
same
what,
jam
three?
you are.
Like a pack of hyenas, the crew is circling. Barkley's yelling at the poor guy. Shaq is right behind him, repeating everything Charles is saying. A 7-foot echoing monolith, just menacingly standing there. And it's at this moment, Anthony begins to realize what he's gotten himself into.
Yep.
But being
You
the
can't
gracious
fold,
host that he is, Kenny allows Anthony to go first.
Yeah, first and
Okay.
three.
You going?
No, it's your welcome.
Just shoot?
Because
Okay.
if I make the first one, I won't put too much pressure on.
Okay.
All right, there you go. All right, there it is. See?
That's off by
If I
a
make
mile.
that first one.
It's a miss. We are one attempt into this competition, and Charles Barkley has already seen enough. Anthony asks for the ball, and Charles
Charles looked
just
disgusted.
stares at him. Have you ever in your life seen someone so unamused? Meanwhile, Kenny Smith is taking off his jacket to prepare to lay that NBA caliber beatdown.
I'm going to take it off, Shaq.
Both of us ain't gonna
Actually,
lose
it's the
today.
shirt. Actually, it's the shirt. It's the shirt that's tight.
Damn. GG's.
It's the shirt that's
Now-
tight, Ernie.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying, Ernie? You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is
Yeah, he's
that's
done,
tight,
bro.
Ernie.
He's out the
It's the
game.
first. It's the shirt that's tight.
Thank you.
But it's the form that's never tight. The form ain't never tight, Ernie. Turn ain't never tight.
Man can't even make one.
Oh no. In dress shoes and slacks, Kenny went into the shootout completely cold, but he's already heating up. And our friend Anthony is 0 for 2.
Man got the
Now, I want to
Concords
take this
on.
moment to
It's
remind
over.
everyone out there about a quote a wise man once said: "I am closer to LeBron than you are to me." Famous words uttered by none other than Brian Scalabrine. For 11 seasons, Brian spent his time in the NBA as the league's resident scrub, averaged 3 points a game, didn't see the court on many nights. In fact, in 2012,
Mamba.
while LeBron was in his prime and nearly led the league in scoring, Brian was putting up a whopping 1 point per game. About as far away from LeBron as a player in the NBA is going to get. And yet, despite this, Brian was acutely aware of the
Well,
fact
1
that
point is
even
crazy.
with this massive void
literally
as
one
an
free
NBA
throw.
player, he was still worlds closer to LeBron than we are to him. One of the worst, but still an NBA player. At the time of this shootout, Kenny Smith had been retired for
fuck with
over
Brian
2
Scalabrine,
decades.
though. I
He
fuck
spent
with
his days in a chair talking about the game, not playing it. But he is still a former NBA player, and the gap between him and Anthony was insurmountable.
All right, there it is. See?
That's off
Look
by
at
make
the
that first
form,
one.
dog.
Oh, I might have to take this off. I might have to take this off. I might have to take it off, Shaq.
I got it.
I might have to take it off, Shaq. Oh, I'm gonna take it off, Shaq.
Both of us ain't gonna
Actually,
lose
it's the
today.
shirt. Actually, it's the shirt. It's the shirt that's tight.
Oh.
It's the shirt that's tight, Ernie. You know what I'm saying, Ernie? You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is the shirt that's tight, Ernie. It's the shirt that's tight. But it's the
Take
form
this
that's
man
never
up.
tight. The
GG.
form ain't never tight, Ernie. Turn ain't never tight.
Get him
Let's
out
go
of
home,
here.
ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home. Let's go home.
What was supposed to be Anthony's time to show everyone what the best shooter in the world can do turned into 90 seconds of badgering, yelling, excuses, and 2 missed shots. The poor guy didn't even get a third one. Kenny went 3 for 3, and it was over. Where's that 20-foot assembly required shooting contraption when you need it? His moment came, and it went. The crew does their best to make Anthony feel better, but the damage is already done. This man holds 7 basketball shooting world records. In terms of us average Joes, he can shoot the rock better than just about anyone. He's hit 31 three-pointers in a single minute. He's made over 200 free throws in 3 minutes. But on this day, Anthony finally learned the haunting truth that we all have to come to terms with eventually. He is still not better than an NBA player, even when they're 54, decades into retirement, and wearing a suit.
Hey, man. He just didn't have that dog in him, okay? He just didn't have that dog in him. Man folded when he needed to show up. Man had on the Jordan 11 Concords and everything. And the man choked. He choked. But I swear, this was a fucking troll video, bro. Jimmy's such a fucking troll. Like, bro, of course this man not even close towards NBA talent, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. But it's like, bro, he should have been expected. Like, Kenny, like, no matter how old he can get, how old he gets, bro, like that jumper will never go away. Like that touch of the basketball be able to shoot will never go away. It will never go away. As long as he be able to jump, he will have a jump shot, bro. He will have a jump shot. Like, bro, it don't matter. It don't matter. Like, he's an NBA player for a reason. A long time NBA player at that, bro. Like, it's not like Kenny went to the NBA for like 2 seasons, then make the league again. Like, he was in the NBA for like damn near, 10, 15 years or whatever. So it's like a long ass time, okay? A long ass time Kenny being in the NBA. So it's like, hey, the average Joe don't stand a chance when it comes in terms of shooting, because, hey, this is what these niggas get paid for. Do what they get paid to do. Especially Kenny, he got paid to be a shooter. Like, literally, his job was to shoot. So it's like, of course, you're going to beat the average Joe. But a fire video though from Jimmy. But like, comment, subscribe. Suggest anything else you want to interact to, down below in the comments. But check out and next one.